Captain Jake Morrison floated in the command chair of the human ship Starbound. The bridge was quiet except for the soft hum of machines and the gentle beeping of computers. Outside the big windows, space looked empty and dark with tiny dots of light that were stars far away. "Captain, we are getting close to the Kepler system," said Kyle Brooks from his seat at the navigation controls. Kyle was young but very good at his job. He had been flying ships for 5 years. Jake nodded and looked at his crew. Dr. Lisa Hamilton sat at the science station, her fingers moving fast over her computer. She was the smartest person Jake knew. Amy Carter was at the communications desk, listening for any signals from space. Tony Rodriguez was checking the ship's engines from his engineering station. "This should be easy," Jake said to his crew. "We scan the planets, look for useful metals, and go home. Nothing exciting." But Jake was wrong. They had been in the Kepler system for 2 hours when Amy suddenly sat up straight. "Captain, I am getting something strange." "What kind of strange?" Jake asked, turning his chair toward her. "It is a signal, but not from any human ship. The pattern is not like anything I have seen before." Amy's face looked worried. "The signal is very strong and very organized. Someone or something is talking out there." Dr. Hamilton quickly moved to Amy's station. "Let me see the data." She looked at the computer screen and her eyes got wide. "Jake, this is not random noise. This is a real message from someone who is not human." The bridge became very quiet. Everyone knew that humans had never met aliens before. Earth had been sending signals into space for many years, but no one had ever answered back. "Can you understand what they are saying?" Jake asked. Lisa worked on her computer for several minutes. "I am trying to break the code. The math patterns are very complex, but I think I can figure out some of it." She typed fast and numbers and symbols filled her screen. After an hour of work, Lisa made a small sound of surprise. "Jake, you need to see this. I translated part of the message, and it contains star maps. Very detailed maps of this part of the galaxy." She put the image on the main screen. It showed dozens of star systems connected by lines. Jake could see their current location marked clearly on the map. "But look at this," Lisa said, pointing to one part of the map. "This is our solar system, Earth's system. And look at the symbols next to it." Jake stared at the symbols. Even though he could not read them, they looked important and scary. "What do those symbols mean?" Kyle asked. Lisa worked on her computer again. After a few minutes, she looked up with fear in her eyes. "The first symbol means forbidden zone. The second one means dangerous or threat. The third symbol ... She stopped talking. "Tell us," Jake said quietly. "The third symbol means awakening or becoming active." Amy suddenly called out, "Captain, there is more of the signal coming in now." Much more. The new part of the message was longer and more complex. Lisa worked to translate it while the others waited. Jake felt his heart beating fast. If aliens knew about Earth, why had they never made contact? "I got some more words," Lisa said. "They mention something called Protocol 7, and they talk about human capabilities that are sleeping, but might wake up soon." Tony spoke up from his engineering station. "Captain, this sounds like they have been watching us." "For how long?" Jake asked. Lisa found more translated words. "According to this, they have been studying humans for many cycles. I think that means many years, maybe decades." The message suddenly stopped. Amy tried to find more signals, but there was only silence. "Wait," Amy said. Before the signal ended, there was something else. Coordinates, a location in space. She put the coordinates on the navigation screen. Kyle looked at them and said, "Those coordinates point to the Veil Nebula. It is about 3 days' travel from here." Jake stood up and walked to the big window. He looked out at the stars and thought about what they had learned. Aliens were real. They knew about humans. They thought humans were dangerous. And they had been watching Earth for a long time. "Captain, what do we do?" Lisa asked. Jake knew. He should return to Earth right away. This information was too important to risk losing. But the coordinates in the message made him curious. What was at that location? Why did the aliens send those coordinates? "Sir, Earth Command should know about this immediately," Kyle said. Jake nodded, but he kept thinking about the coordinates. "Amy, can you send a message to Earth with everything we learned?" "Yes, sir. It will take several hours for the message to reach Earth from here." "Do it. Send everything. But tell them we are investigating the coordinates first." "Captain," Lisa said carefully, "that might be dangerous. We do not know what is at that location." Jake looked at his crew. They were all good people, and he did not want to put them in danger. But something told him that the coordinates were important. Maybe the aliens wanted humans to find whatever was there. "We will be careful," Jake said. "Kyle, set course for those coordinates, but keep our weapons ready and our shields up." As the Starbound turned toward the Veil Nebula, Jake thought about how this day had started as a simple mining survey. Now they were flying toward an unknown alien location that might change everything humans knew about their place in the galaxy. Behind them, their message to Earth traveled through space, carrying news that would soon make the leaders of Earth realize that humanity was not alone. And somewhere in the darkness ahead, something was waiting at the coordinates the aliens had sent. The Starbound flew deeper into space, carrying 4 humans toward a discovery that would change the fate of both humanity and the galaxy forever. 3 days later, the Starbound arrived at the coordinates in the Veil Nebula. The space around them was filled with colorful gas clouds that looked beautiful, but made it hard to see very far. Jake Morrison stood on the bridge, watching the screens, as they searched for whatever the aliens wanted them to find. "Captain, I am getting something on sensors," Kyle Brooks said from his navigation station. "There is a large metal object hidden in the gas clouds. It looks like a space station." "Is it active?" Jake asked. Amy Carter checked her communications. "Equipment. I am not getting any signals from it, sir." "It looks empty." Dr. Lisa Hamilton studied the sensor readings. "The design is definitely not human. The metal is made from materials we do not use. But the power readings are very low. Almost like the station was abandoned recently." Jake made his decision. "Take us closer, but stay ready to run if we need to." As they got closer, the alien station became visible through the gas clouds. It was huge, much bigger than any human space station. The design was strange, with curved walls and towers that twisted in ways that looked almost alive. But many of the lights were off, and parts of the station looked damaged. "Life support readings show the station still has air and heat," Tony Rodriguez reported from his engineering station. "But barely. Someone left this place in a hurry." "Captain," Amy said, "I am picking up some very weak signals from inside the station. Computer systems that are still running on emergency power." Jake knew this was dangerous, but they had come too far to turn back now. "Suit up, everyone. We are going aboard. Tony, you stay with the ship and keep the engines ready." An hour later, Jake, Lisa, Kyle, and Amy floated through the airlock into the alien station. Their spacesuits had lights that cut through the darkness inside. The hallways were bigger than human hallways, made for creatures taller than people. Strange symbols covered the walls. "The air is breathable," Lisa said, checking her instruments. "But I recommend we keep our suits on." They moved carefully through the station, following signs that Lisa hoped would lead them to the main computer room. The station felt empty and cold, like a house where no one had lived for a long time. "Look at this," Kyle said, pointing to one wall. The symbols there were the same ones they had seen in the alien message. "This confirms it. The same aliens who sent us the message built this station." They found the main computer room after 20 minutes of searching. The room was filled with screens and control panels, most of them dark. But some still glowed, with alien text and numbers. "Tony, can you hear us?" Jake spoke into his radio. "Yes, sir. Everything is quiet out here." "Good. Lisa, can you get into their computer system?" Dr. Hamilton moved to the largest computer panel. "I can try." The interface is strange, but the basic logic seems similar to our computers. She connected a small device from her kit to the alien panel. "My translator program is working on their language." After 30 minutes, Lisa managed to turn on more of the computer systems. Information began appearing on the screens around them. Jake could not read the alien text, but Lisa's device slowly translated some of it into English. "Jake," Lisa said quietly, "you need to see this. These are not just computers. These are research files. Research about humans." She pointed to one screen that showed a picture of Earth from space. Next to it were charts and graphs with human information. "They have been studying us for 40 years, Lisa continued reading. "Look at this data. They have records of every human war, every new technology we developed, every time we sent rockets into space." Amy found another computer and turned it on. "Captain, this section has biological information. Scans of human bodies, human DNA, human brain patterns." Kyle discovered files about human military forces. "They know about our weapons, our fighting methods, our armies. They have been watching everything." But the most frightening discovery came when Lisa found the research conclusions. "Jake, listen to this. According to their scientists, humans have something they call adaptive capability that is much higher than normal for intelligent species." "What does that mean?" Jake asked. "It means we learn and change faster than other aliens. We adapt to new situations quicker. We develop new technology faster." And ... double quotes. Lisa paused, reading more. "They say we have something in our brains that most species do not have. The ability to integrate with advanced technology very quickly." Amy called out from across the room, "Captain, I found the reason they abandoned this station. Look at these dates. They left just 3 months ago when their long-range sensors detected energy signatures from Earth's solar system." "What kind of energy signatures?" Jake asked. Lisa worked to translate more files. "According to this, Earth started producing energy patterns that indicated we had developed faster than light travel. Their computers calculated that humans were entering what they call the expansion phase." "Expansion phase?" "The phase when a species starts spreading to other worlds. They have seen this happen with 3 other species in galactic history. All 3 of those species eventually conquered large parts of the galaxy." Jake felt cold inside his spacesuit. While humans thought they were alone in the universe, aliens had been watching and judging them. And apparently, the aliens were afraid of what humans might become. Kyle found more files about human psychology. "Captain, they studied how we think. They say humans are unusually good at something they call creative destruction and asymmetric problem solving. They mean we are good at finding new ways to fight and solve problems," Lisa explained. "Ways that other species do not expect." Amy discovered the final piece of the puzzle in the station's communication logs. "Jake, 3 months ago, this station sent an emergency message to someplace called Nexus Prime. The message said, 'Protocol 7 may be necessary. The humans are awakening ahead of schedule.'" Jake looked around at his crew. They had come here looking for answers and found more questions. But one thing was clear: humanity was not alone in the galaxy, and the aliens who had been watching them were afraid. "Gather all the data you can carry," Jake ordered. "We need to get this information back to Earth immediately." As they prepared to leave the abandoned station, Jake realized that everything was about to change for humanity. Earth's leaders needed to know that they were being watched, studied, and possibly threatened by alien civilizations that saw humans as a danger to the galaxy. The quiet little planet Earth was about to become very busy indeed. On the planet Nexus Prime, far across the galaxy, Emperor Valen Korath received the most disturbing news in his 2,000 years of rule. The tall alien leader stood in his great hall, reading reports from the abandoned research station. His 4 arms shook as he held the data tablets. "Are you certain about this information?" Emperor Korath asked his military advisor, General Thorak. "Yes, Your Majesty. Our monitoring station confirmed it before our scientists fled. The humans have developed faster than light travel. They are beginning to expand beyond their home system." The Emperor's skin changed from blue to dark purple, a sign of great worry in his species. "Call the Grand Council immediately. All 47 member worlds must hear this." Within hours, representatives from across the Dominion Empire gathered. In the Great Council Chamber, some came in person, others appeared as holographic images. All of them looked afraid. Zara Vex from the Hegemony Coalition spoke first. She was a warrior from a race that had conquered 12 worlds before joining the Empire. "Your Majesty, there's only one solution. We must attack the human homeworld before they spread further." "Attack an entire planet?" asked Elder Quinn from the Peaceful Accord. His people had never fought a war. "That would mean killing billions of innocent beings." "Innocent?" Zara's voice was sharp. "Have you read the research files? Humans have fought wars constantly for thousands of years. They create new weapons faster than any species we have studied. They are not innocent. They are dangerous." General Thorak stepped forward and activated a large screen. Images of human weapons and battles appeared. "Council members, observe their combat methods. Humans do not fight like other species. They adapt their tactics during battle. They use surprise attacks and unusual strategies that our military computers cannot predict." A council member from the Regelian Republic raised a tentacle. "But surely their technology is still primitive compared to ours?" "That is what we believed," General Thorak said grimly. "However, our analysis shows they have developed space travel in only 100 years. Most species take 1,000 years to achieve the same progress. At this rate of advancement, humans will match our technology within decades." Elder Quinn looked at the war images on the screen. "Perhaps we could make contact peacefully. Offer them membership in the Empire under our protection." Zara laughed, a harsh sound. "Protection? From what? We should be asking for protection from them." Meanwhile, far away on Earth, Captain Jake Morrison stood in a room deep underground at Earth Defense Command. The room was filled with military officers and scientists, all listening as Dr. Lisa Hamilton explained what they had found at the alien station. "The evidence is clear," Lisa said to the serious faces around the table. "Multiple alien civilizations know about us. They have been studying us for decades, and they consider us a threat." Admiral Robert Hayes, the head of Earth's military forces, leaned forward. "Dr. Hamilton, in your opinion, how long do we have before they decide to act against us?" "Based on their research timeline and the urgency of their recent communications, I believe we have months, not years." President Elizabeth Stone, who had been listening quietly, finally spoke. "Admiral Hayes, what are our current defensive capabilities?" Admiral Hayes smiled grimly. "Madam President, it is time to reveal Project Guardian." He pressed a button and new images appeared on the room's screens. They showed massive space stations hidden behind Earth's moon, powerful weapons platforms orbiting in the outer solar system, and sleek warships unlike anything the civilians in the room had seen before. "For 30 years we have been preparing for this day," Admiral Hayes explained. "Every time we detected alien surveillance, we learned from it. Every probe that came near Earth, we studied. We have been reverse engineering alien technology and building our own versions." Dr. Hamilton stared at the images. "You knew about the aliens all this time?" "We suspected." Strange objects in space, unexplained technology crashes, signals that did not come from Earth. We prepared for the possibility that someday someone would come knocking. Captain Morrison spoke up. Admiral, what about the alien civilization's military strength? That is why your mission was so important, Captain. The data you brought back shows us exactly what we are facing. The Dominion Empire has superior numbers, but their technology is not as advanced as they believe. Amy Carter, who had been quiet until now, said, "Sir, I have been monitoring space communications since we returned. There is increased alien signal traffic. I think they are planning something." President Stone stood up. "Admiral, I am authorizing the activation of all defensive systems. If they want to talk, we will listen. But we will be ready for anything else." Admiral Hayes nodded. "I have already ordered our ships to patrol positions. Captain Morrison, I am promoting you to Commodore. You will command our First Contact Response Team." "First Contact Response Team?" Jake asked. "Yes, our sensors show a large alien fleet approaching the edge of our solar system. They will be here within days. This fleet is too large to be a simple diplomatic mission." Back on Nexus Prime, Emperor Korath had made his decision. "We will send Ambassador Prime Nexus with a diplomatic fleet. 12 heavy cruisers and 40 escort ships." "That seems like a lot of ships for diplomacy," Elder Quinn observed. "The humans must understand our strength," the Emperor replied. "We will offer them the choice to join the Empire peacefully. If they refuse... General Thorak completed the thought. "If they refuse, we will have enough firepower to eliminate their space capabilities and force them to surrender." Zara Vex smiled. "Finally, a reasonable plan. Show strength first, then offer mercy. But what if the humans are more advanced than we think?" asked the representative from the Centauri Federation. "Impossible," General Thorak said confidently. "They have only had spaceflight for 100 years. We have ruled the galaxy for 2,000 years. No matter how clever they are, they cannot match our experience and technology." Emperor Korath dismissed the council. "The fleet departs tomorrow. Soon we will know if the humans can be reasoned with or if they must be dealt with by force." As the alien fleet prepared to leave for Earth, and human forces prepared to meet them, both sides believed they understood what was about to happen. The aliens thought they would easily intimidate a primitive species. The humans thought they were ready for anything. Both sides were about to discover they were wrong. 1 week later, the alien fleet appeared at the edge of Earth's solar system. Commodore Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the new human ship Terran Pride, watching the massive alien vessels on his screen. The alien fleet was enormous compared to anything humans had built before. Their largest ship was 3 times bigger than any human vessel. "Commodore, we are receiving a signal from the alien fleet," Amy Carter reported from her communications station. She was now the Chief Communications Officer for the First Contact mission. "Put it on screen," Jake ordered. The main screen flickered and showed the inside of an alien ship. A tall creature with 4 arms and blue skin appeared. Behind him stood other aliens of different shapes and sizes. The main alien wore what looked like expensive robes covered in golden symbols. "I am Ambassador Prime Nexus of the Dominion Empire," the alien said. His voice was translated by human computers into English. "I speak for Emperor Korath, ruler of 47 worlds and 300 billion beings." Jake stepped forward. "I am Commodore Jake Morrison, representing the United Earth Defense Force and all of humanity." "Humanity," Ambassador Nexus repeated. The word like it tasted bad. "Yes, we know of your species. You are the reason we have come." Dr. Lisa Hamilton, now serving as Jake's science advisor, whispered quietly, "Jake, their formation is definitely military, not diplomatic. Those escort ships have their weapons powered up." Ambassador Nexus continued speaking. The Dominion Empire has ruled this galaxy for 2,000 years. We bring order and peace to all worlds. We have come to offer your species the protection of the Empire. Protection from what? Jake asked. From yourselves, the alien replied. Your species is young and violent. You need guidance. Join the Empire, and we will teach you how to live peacefully among the civilized worlds. Behind Ambassador Nexus, Jake could see another alien in military uniform. This alien was watching the human ships very carefully and seemed to be studying their design. What if we prefer to remain independent? Jake asked politely. The military alien stepped forward. I am General Thorak. Independence is not an option for primitive species. You will accept Imperial protection or face the consequences. Jake felt his crew tense up around him. Kyle Brooks at the navigation station quietly prepared evasive maneuvers. Tony Rodriguez monitored the ship's weapon systems. Amy kept her finger ready on the emergency communication button. General Thorak, Jake said calmly, humanity appreciates your offer, but we must decline. We wish to remain friends with the Empire while maintaining our independence. General Thorak's face showed anger. You do not understand your situation, human. Your tiny ships cannot stand against Imperial power. Observe. Without warning, one of the alien escort ships fired an energy beam at a human patrol vessel called New Frontier. The beam was bright blue and looked very powerful. General Thorak smiled, expecting to see the human ship destroyed or badly damaged. Instead, something amazing happened. The human ship's shields absorbed the energy beam completely. Not only did the ship survive without damage, but lights on its hull began to glow with the same blue color as the alien weapon. Captain Lisa Park, commanding the New Frontier, spoke over the radio. Commodore Morrison, their weapon energy has been analyzed and copied. Our adaptive shield system is now immune to their weapons type. General Thorak's face went from confident to shocked. Impossible. That was a full-power battle beam. Jake smiled calmly. General, was that attack supposed to demonstrate something? Because it did. It demonstrated that your weapons cannot hurt our ships. Ambassador Nexus looked confused. How did you develop such advanced defensive technology? We learned from the best teachers, Dr. Hamilton answered. We learned from you. Every time you sent probes to study us, we studied your probes. Every time you scanned our planet, we recorded your scan methods. We have been learning about your technology for decades. General Thorak was now very angry. One lucky defensive trick does not make you our equals. Captain Park's voice came over the radio again. Commodore, requesting permission to respond to their attack. Jake looked at the alien fleet on his screen. 52 ships against 12 human vessels. The odds looked terrible for humanity, but Jake knew something the aliens did not know. Permission granted, Captain Park. One shot only. Disable their weapons, but do not harm their crew. The New Frontier turned toward the alien ship that had fired at them. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a single beam of energy shot from the human ship. The beam was the same blue color as the alien weapon, but somehow it passed through the alien ship's shields like they were not there. The alien ship's weapon systems exploded in showers of sparks, but the hull remained intact. No aliens were killed, but their most powerful warship was now defenseless. General Thorak stared at his damaged ship in disbelief. How did you penetrate our shields? Your own weapon told us how, Tony Rodriguez explained over the communication channel. When you fired at us, our computers analyzed not just the energy beam, but also how it was designed to interact with your shield systems. We simply used your own technology against you. Ambassador Nexus was very quiet for a long moment. You copied our weapon design in minutes and improved it to bypass our defenses? Actually, Dr. Hamilton said, it took about 30 seconds. Human computer systems are very fast at analyzing and adapting new technology. The alien fleet began to spread out, preparing for battle. But Jake held up his hand to stop his own ships from taking aggressive action. Ambassador Nexus, General Thorak, we do not want to fight you, we want to be friends. But we will not be conquered or controlled. Earth is our home, and we will defend it. General Thorak was about to order his fleet to attack when Ambassador Nexus stopped him. Wait, if they can copy our weapons so quickly, what other surprises might they have? Jake decided to be completely honest. We have studied your technology for 40 years. We know how your ships work, how your weapons function, and how your shields operate. We built our defenses specifically to counter your advantages. But you only have 12 ships, General Thorak pointed out. These 12 ships, Jake replied. But Earth has many more defenses you have not seen yet. As if summoned by his words, new signals appeared on everyone's sensors. Hidden human defense platforms throughout the solar system began to power up. Space stations concealed behind asteroids revealed themselves. Dozens of additional human ships emerged from hiding places near the outer planets. Ambassador Nexus watched his tactical display fill with new human contacts. How many ships do you have? Jake smiled. Enough to defend our home. The question is, Ambassador, do you still want to fight? Or would you prefer to discuss a peaceful relationship between our peoples? For the first time in 2,000 years of Imperial history, an alien diplomat was forced to consider negotiating with the species as an equal rather than as a conquered subject. The age of human independence was about to begin. 3 hours after the demonstration, Ambassador Prime Nexus sat alone in his private chamber aboard the Eternal Dominion. His hands shook as he prepared his report to Emperor Korath. In 2,000 years of Imperial expansion, no species had ever shown such advanced technology or such calm confidence when facing the Imperial fleet. Your Majesty, Ambassador Nexus spoke into his communication device. The humans are not what we expected. Emperor Korath Izavage appeared on the screen. His purple skin had turned almost black with worry. Explain. They have technology that equals or exceeds our own. They adapted to our weapons in seconds. They have hidden defensive systems throughout their solar system. Most importantly, they show no fear of the Imperial fleet. But they are primitives. They only developed space flight 100 years ago. That may be true, Your Majesty, but they learned very quickly. They used our own surveillance against us. Every probe we sent, every scan we made, taught them about our technology. We accidentally gave them everything they needed to defend themselves. Back on Earth, Admiral Robert Hayes stood in the command center watching reports come in from around the galaxy. Human listening posts, hidden for years, were picking up alien communications from dozens of worlds. Sir, a communication officer called out, we are receiving signals from something called the Regellian Republic. They want to speak with Earth directly. And sir, another officer added, the Centauri Federation is asking about possible trade agreements. They seem very interested in our defensive technology. Admiral Hayes smiled. Word of humanity's successful resistance was spreading across the galaxy faster than expected. Species that had been forced to join the Empire were suddenly asking questions about independence. Dr. Lisa Hamilton entered the command center carrying a data tablet. Admiral, I have been analyzing the alien fleet's communication signals. Several of their member species are talking privately about breaking away from the Empire. How many species? At least 12 so far. The demonstration of human technology has given them hope that the Empire can be challenged. On the Terran Pride, Commodore Jake Morrison was meeting with Ambassador Nexus via video link. The alien diplomat looked tired and defeated. Commodore Morrison, Ambassador Nexus said, I have been authorized by Emperor Korath to negotiate a formal agreement between the Empire and humanity. What kind of agreement? Jake asked. The Empire is prepared to recognize Earth as an independent zone. You would not be required to join the Empire, but you would agree not to interfere in Imperial territory. Dr. Hamilton leaned toward Jake and whispered, "That is more than any species has ever been offered." Jake considered the offer carefully. "Ambassador, we appreciate the Empire's recognition of our independence. However, we cannot agree to avoid Imperial territory if that territory includes species who want our help." "What do you mean?" "Several species have already contacted us asking about trade, technology sharing, and mutual defense agreements. We will not abandon potential friends because the Empire claims to own them." Ambassador Nexus looked very uncomfortable. "You cannot seriously intend to challenge Imperial authority across the galaxy." "We do not want to challenge anyone," Jake replied calmly. "We want to explore space, meet new friends, and share knowledge with species who want to share with us. If the Empire allows this, we can be good neighbors. If the Empire tries to stop us..." Jake did not finish the sentence, but the meaning was clear. Ambassador Nexus ended the communication and immediately contacted Emperor Korath again. "Your Majesty, the humans want more than independence. They want to change the entire galactic order. They plan to form alliances with our member species." Emperor Korath was quiet for a long time. Finally, he spoke. "How many ships would we need to defeat them?" "Unknown, Your Majesty. They may have many more hidden defenses we have not seen. But more importantly, if we attack them, every species in the galaxy will know that humanity fought the Empire and hurt our ships. This could cause rebellions across all Imperial territory." On Nexus Prime, the Grand Council met in emergency session again. But this time, the discussion was very different. "The humans have changed everything," Elder Quinn said. "For the first time in 2,000 years, someone has shown that the Empire can be resisted successfully." Zara Vex, who had wanted to attack humanity before, now looked worried. "If we fight them and lose, the Empire will collapse. Every world will want independence. And if we do not fight them," General Thorak added, "they will form alliances that will eventually grow stronger than the Empire anyway." Emperor Korath realized he faced an impossible choice. Fight humanity and risk losing everything, or accept their independence and watch the Empire slowly fall apart as other species demanded the same treatment. 6 months later, the Treaty of Seoul was signed. Earth became the first independent world in Imperial space. The human solar system was declared a free zone where any species could trade and meet without Imperial interference. Commodore Jake Morrison, now Admiral Morrison, stood on the bridge of Earth's first official colony ship, the Pioneer. Behind him, 50 more ships carried human families to new worlds that had invited them to settle. "Admiral," Captain Lisa Park reported from the escort ship New Hope, "we are receiving welcome messages from the Rigelian Republic, the Centauri Federation, and 15 other species." "Good," Jake replied. "Send our thanks and confirm our arrival times." Dr. Lisa Hamilton, now Earth's chief alien relations advisor, smiled as she read reports from across the galaxy. "Jake, 12 species have formally left the Empire in the past month. They are calling it the Independence Movement. And how is the Empire responding?" "They are trying to hold their remaining territory together, but it is not working well. Emperor Korath has agreed to reduce Imperial control over member worlds in exchange for them staying in the Empire." Amy Carter, monitoring galactic communications from her station, called out excitedly, "Admiral, we are getting a message from a species called the Vorthan Collective. They have been hiding from the Empire for 300 years, but now they want to join our alliance." Jake looked out at the stars ahead. When this journey began, humanity thought they were alone in the universe. Now they were leading a movement that was reshaping the entire galaxy. "Set course for the Rigel system," Jake ordered. "It is time to meet our new neighbors and start building a better galaxy for everyone." as the human fleet jumped to faster than light. Speed, signals across the galaxy carried news of their mission. The age of the Dominion Empire was ending. The age of galactic freedom had begun, and humanity had shown the way forward.